Blog Talk Radio.
Whoa. Why y'all so happy?
You don't know? Charvette Mitchell is on the radio.
It's time to get motivated, excited, and influenced. Why? It's the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show, live from Richmond, Virginia. And now, here to motivate, excite, and influence you, Charvette Mitchell.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show, broadcasting from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, but heard all across the World Wide Web. Hey, guys. Hey, dolls. Hey, gents. Thank you so much for checking us out here for another phenomenal show. And I am telling you what, the virtual studio is full today. Yes, our first segment, we got a bunch of people we want to share with you. Great things going on here in the city and Tri-City, so we want to let you know all about it. But before I jump into things, certainly we want to welcome all of those that are hanging out with us on the phone lines. We see you. We're waving virtually hello. Those that are coming in from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Charvette.com, our mobile app, and all of our broadcast stations, we say hello and welcome. Listen, tell them what you're listening to. Go ahead. Jump online. Say, hey, you need to be listening to this. Send them over to Charvette.com. Real easy, real simple way to listen to the show today. All right, so let's jump right on in and chat about who we have joining us today on today's show. So we're opening up the top of the hour out with an event spotlight. I absolutely love event spotlights, and we're bringing one to you today. So we're going to be chatting up and talking about Praise Empowerment Conference 2016. I've got hanging out with me in the virtual studio Elder Tony McDaniel, who is of Next Level Management, the sponsors of this great conference. He's with us, but listen, he is not by himself. We've got some backup today. We have Chanel Taylor that's joining us from In His Presence Conference Choir that's going to be featured during the conference. We have Jossie Singletary of C3 Youth Choir, backed by popular demand. You all know her. Brooklyn, New York is in the house. And then we also have the guest speaker for the conference, Reverend Dwight Ford, joining us. So you're going to get to hear from them in moments, just in a few moments. But I got to tell you about the second segment. So you hang around. In our second segment, we have an artist spotlight. We are going to be featuring William LaVant. He is a gospel recording artist, songwriter. Listen, he says he's from broken and rebuilt to worship being mandatory in his life. So you want to hear all about his music ministry. You don't want to move. You don't want to budge. You don't want to go anywhere. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right on in to our first segment. And again, Elder Tony actually is back by popular demand, so I'm bringing him up to the virtual mic right now. Elder Tony McDaniel of Next Level Management, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me back, Charvette. We appreciate you.
Oh, it is my honor. It's my honor. So listen, tell our listeners about Praise Empowerment Conference and why you decided to put this together and bring this all together for us.
Okay, Praise Empowerment Conference 2016, it is a Next Level Management sponsored conference. It is our second year doing our conference. We did it first in 2014. We took a break in 2015 to regroup, refocus, and so here we are in 2016, back stronger and more focused, and we decided to put this conference together on Charvette because we felt a need where we should provide a space and a place for God's people to come together, to be encouraged, to be empowered, to live the best life that they can live. And we know that best life is lived with a loving and committed relationship with Christ. And so we wanted to bring some people in to speak to those points, to encourage the body of Christ to move forward and to live that life in Christ.
Phenomenal, and I certainly feel empowered just by your description there and your purpose for the conference. So tell listeners the date, the place, and all that good stuff.
So the conference is one day. We started off with one day. We're going to add a second piece to that, and I'll speak to that later on. It's this Friday, June 17th at 7:30 p.m. in the big city of Petersburg, Virginia, 1209 Upper Appomattox Street, and that is Higher Learning Ministries. That's the church that's our venue that has sponsored our event. So we want people to come out, tell somebody, tweet somebody, Instagram, all of those things, and let them know that this event it's going to be phenomenal. We are excited about the people that we have coming in. So, again, it's this Friday, June 17th at 7:30 p.m., Higher Learning Ministries, 1209 Upper Appomattox Street in Petersburg, Virginia.
All right, the lovely, beautiful, historic Petersburg, Virginia. What y'all know about that out there? What y'all know about that? All right, so let's bring on into the loop here some of the guests that we have joining us. So let's talk about Chanel Taylor. Can you introduce her? And then Chanel is going to come up to the mic as well. Yeah, all right, Chanel, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. You're representing In His Presence Conference Choir.
Yes, I am here to represent the In His Presence Conference Choir. I am honored to first be on this call. Thank you so much, Tony and Charvette, for inviting me on to join you all today. And I am just excited about this conference that Elder Tony McDaniel has put on, because I have a true heart for worship, and that's the most important thing that I can say. And bringing along the conference choir, we started about a little over 10 years ago, where my father is a pastor of Calvary Outreach Bible Center, and his vision was to start the In His Presence conference that we've been having once a year, and from that conference comprised the choir, a group of people from the community that just love to give God praise. We come together and we sing to the glory of God, and that's what we've been doing ever since. And we are just happy and excited for the service that's going to go on Friday. We cannot wait to join in the praise, to give God the glory, and we will be there in the place to raise him up.
All right, I love that. What a great idea to have a choir that is established because of a conference, but then you all are open and willing to go and minister at someone else's conference. So kudos to that. Kudos to that. Wonderful. Do you all have a Facebook page or any kind of social media or contact information if people are interested in finding out more?
Yes, we have our church website, and we have a link on the website that you all can go to in the case that you would like to book, and that is corcministries.com. That's corcministries.com.
All right. Thank you. All right. Well, while we are in this music vein, and Elder Tony, I'm going to bring you back in the loop here.
Okay.
Singletary, talk a little bit about, I know you've got a strong and great connection with C3, and just talk a little bit about that, and then we're going to bring her up to the mic.
Yeah, I've had a great relationship with C3 Youth Choir for years now. In fact, when they went on their first tour, their first recording, I brought them down to Virginia. It was their first time in Virginia, as a matter of fact, and we put together a small tour through the Tri-Cities for them. The tour was a great success, and Jossie can speak more to that, but we've had a wonderful relationship. They are a wonderful group of young people. They are on fire for Christ. They love God, and are so talented. And you will not find a more talented group of people, nor a group of people that love Christ and put him first. So it's a pleasure for me to have them back again. When I reached out to them and asked them would they do the conference again, it was no question in their mind that they wanted to come again. So they agreed to come, and we're just looking forward to seeing them. And I think they're actually in the studio doing a new project. So we might even have them do some of those new songs, but I don't want to push Jossie too much on that, so I'll let her talk about that.
Jossie, that's a good place to bring you up to the virtual mic here in the virtual studio. So welcome back again by popular demand. So can you give us any inside scoop on what C3 and the choir is working on?
Yes, I can give a little bit. We are working on new material. Our youth pastor, Pastor Jamal, has come up with a movement, Unapologetic Ambassadors for Christ, and we've just been, between ministering the Release Me album and writing new material to go with the movement, we do have a few songs that are being worked on right now, but I can't release them yet.
We won't make you. We won't force you. We won't force you to.
Okay.
But that inside scoop was good there. That inside scoop was good. And
no
so
problem.
certainly I've got to shout out your church. So Christian Cultural Center, Brooklyn, New York. Listeners, if you have not heard of this church, you definitely want to go just Google. If you were watching Wendy Williams last week, I believe, Pastor was on. He represented very well concerning his book. Wendy kind of went a little to the left, but Pastor did an awesome job representing the book. So certainly share just a little bit about Christian Cultural Center for those that are in the Brooklyn, New York area, because you all are not coming from around the corner. You're coming a little ways to be at this conference. So share a little bit about your church you're coming from.
Okay, so we're from Christian Cultural Center, located in Brooklyn. It's right off of Flatlands Avenue. We've been in ministry for over 36 years. Our pastors, Pastor and Pastor Karen Bernard, are the leaders, the founders. And then our youth pastor, Pastor Jamal Bernard, he actually became the actual pastor for our Long Island campus. So we opened up a Long Island campus last year in April. So we have two campuses right now in the New York area.
Phenomenal. And I love Pastor Jamal. He every now and again he'll retweet something and he'll hit like, and I'm like, hey, Pastor Jamal. So we certainly send love from Richmond to New York and shout out all of that. But C3, so you all really have, I think, a awesome ministry that is tailored to trying to attract youth and young adults. Do y'all talk a little bit about kind of like that, just the passion of trying to, attract that young adult, group into ministry?
Yeah, we have Sunday services for ages 13 and 19, and then we have Friday night services for our young adults between the ages of 19 to around 30-ish, and we cater to them because, we want them to enjoy their relationship with God and to share their relationship with each other. So for those services, the youth minister to the youth and the young adults minister to the young adults. So it's not, the adults coming down to minister to us, it's us ministering to each other.
Phenomenal. And describe the sound of C3 Choir. So those that are planning to come to the conference, what kind of sound would you say you all represent?
We represent I would say a variety, because we have the material where we have the gospel, and then we have the contemporary feel, and we enjoy having fun. So it can be a rap song, it can be, it can be jazz, it can be anything outside of the norm, but the lyrics are going to pierce the heart, and you're going to go into praise and worship with us and enjoy the experience.
All right. Well said, well said. Listeners, if you just tuned in, hey there, you're checking out the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. We say hello to all those that are hanging out on the phone lines, those in the chat room. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're chatting it up here in our event spotlight, Praise Empowerment Conference 2016, Petersburg, Virginia. Get ready, hosted by Next Level Management, Elder Tony McDaniel. Listen, you're going to hear from Chanel Taylor in his Presence Conference Choir. You're going to get to hear from Jossie Singletary and C3 Youth Choir from Brooklyn, New York. But listen, we have Reverend Dwight Ford with us, who is the guest speaker. I'm bringing him up to the mic right now. Reverend Dwight Ford, thank you for joining us and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be with you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your ministry and just how ministry started for you.
Sure, but before I do that, let me just join the chorus and say thank you for being who you are and for the impact that you have on so many different people every day. So we're just thankful for your great gift to the body of Christ and beyond. I got started in ministry, believe it or not, in the United States Marine Corps, and that's actually how I met Elder Tony McDaniel. It was in a little place called Diego Garcia. Every platoon or every company in the Marine Corps has to have a chaplain, and because we're a Department of the Navy, we don't have necessarily our own chaplain as Marines, so we are governed under a naval chaplain. In the event that a chaplain is unfortunately killed in battle or can't make it to us in the jungle, they have to have someone that's designated within the platoon to be able to offer last rites, perform services, and baptisms, and that person was me. So in addition to all the other duties and responsibilities, I had the wonderful gift and opportunity after being trained to be able to assist the Marines in their formation and their spiritual gift. So my formation wasn't particularly through any denomination. I had the wonderful opportunity of preaching and teaching to every denomination under Christendom, including my Catholic brothers and sisters. And so I grew up through the ministry with that wonderful cross-pollination. So I've never been solely restricted, although I do have licensures and ordinations in 2 denominations, but I've had the wonderful opportunity of serving that way. My pastoral ministry began when I returned back home to a place called Rock Island, Illinois, and after taking an executive pastor position alongside a wonderful man that gave me an opportunity as a young minister, I parked my car outside, started walking up the steps to this massive kind of Gothic-looking building with big, giant red doors alongside of green brick. And there were people standing all alongside of the walkway coming up, and because I'm originally from Crystal Springs, Mississippi, I always speak to people and say hello. I don't walk past people. I said hello, and I greeted them. And when I got through the doors, I walked right in and asked the secretary. I think we call them executive administrators now, but at that time it was a secretary. And I said, there's some folk outside. I said, the church hasn't even opened up. This is my first day there. And I said, what are they there for? And she said, well, they're there to see you. And I said, they don't know me. This is my first day. He said, they're there to see you. And I said, what do they want? And they said, well, they need their lights turned on. They need food. Some of them are on the run. They need help. And I said, don't we have social service agencies in this community? And they said, yeah. They send them to us. That was my formation. So the church itself became all things to all people. We had a police substation. We were open 7 days a week. We had an array of ministries for the community. We had community organizers inside the building. We had lunches and taking care of the elderly. We took care of the very young with Head Start program. And so it was one of the most eye-opening experiences I ever had. And to this day, I'm that kind of pastor because of those early experiences. One, because I had a chance to work with under the great umbrella of Christendom. And 2, because I had a chance to be baptized in the so-called fire of social ills and have to respond to it immediately.
My goodness, what a great ministry track, I'm going to say, that you, first of all, being able to minister in the military and crossing all kinds of denominations, so you don't have that, I'm going to say, you don't have those kind of interdenominational hang-ups. You were able to minister to all kinds of people, and then really it sounding like your pastoral ministry was really operating like the church really should. Oh, my, so I know you have a lot to bring to empowerment. When you talk to people about empowerment, what are things you like to pull out, you like for them to walk away with when you deal with empowerment?
Well, for one, if I'm talking to believers, I let them know that the scriptures are the base. And far too many times, we've gotten away from allowing people to kind of bask themselves and bathe themselves in the scriptures, because more and more of our services are becoming text-less. We try to get through the scripture real quick, like it's burdensome, like it's too much for people to handle. We don't even want to have them stand up and read anymore. We just want to surmise all Scripture down to about three sentences and never want to worry them with the text. Then how are you expecting them to be empowered? Where do they get their source of strength? And so we try to keep people understanding that the Scriptures are the base for the believer to live an empowered life. Second of all, if we wander too far away from the Scriptures, then we have no Christ. And if you have a Christless Christianity, you don't have a sacrificial Christianity. And if you don't have a sacrificial Christianity, you have no cross, you have no great sacrifice, and you don't have salvation. And so many times when people are looking at their own lives and thinking about how do I overcome the set of tragedies and the hurdles that I have, it's because they've wandered too far away from Christ's example of sacrifice. And they're not willing to sacrifice for others because they're not even willing to sacrifice for the things that they say are important for them. And so we have to get back to knowing that if you're going to have something and be something and do something, if you're going to live a legacy that is worth embracing by your children's children, then it's going to take sacrifice. It's never easy. It's only necessary. That's all we got left now, necessary. Easy went out the door a long time ago.
Oh,
So
my
we
goodness.
try,
somebody needs to tweet or Facebook that and give Reverend Dwight Ford the credit.
And so thank you. So the challenge is making sure they understand that if you're going to embrace Jesus Christ, if you're a believer. Now, we have, of course, a way that we work with, and in our ministry we work with people that are not Christian, of course, and not everything we do is contingent upon whether or not they join our church. And so they don't have to come to a Bible study for us to help them. They don't have to attend a Sunday service for us to pour into their life and invest into their lives. So we break ministry down into three different ways. We break it down for one, in the idea of pulpits. And if we're going to be empowered as Christians, and if we're going to live a life that empowers others, then what we say across the pulpits really does matter, because the pulpit is divine directional discourse. What we don't say leaves people in the wilderness, and they don't know how to figure life out. So we have to be very careful and very strategic in how we're trying to lead people into a deeper relationship with God so they can, in fact, turn around and care for their community. So that pulpit area is so important, but it doesn't stop there. We talk about platforms and how the ministry of Jesus Christ should impact every space that we occupy, whether it's the marketplace, whether it's the political realities that we have. Not necessarily always thinking about if we're going to run for political office, but how do you keep accountable those that have been elected, and how do we drive the betterment of our communities by showing up to and putting voice to those that are in position in the school board, those that are in position at the city council level, those that are mayors, those that are representatives at the state level, and then the U.S. level. So we have to really think through that. It used to be that the church would always be respected, that if they were going to buy the building next to you, they'd come by and say, let me talk to the church there. It used to be that before they ran for office, they would come by and have a conversation. They don't care nothing about that now. They'll come in and buy the building next to you and put up all kind of stuff. A politician won't even come by the church anymore. We used to have them always trying to slip in on a Sunday and get the microphone and talk about their platform. They don't care anymore because we don't mobilize, we don't organize enough, and to put pressure on them to the things that are important to the body of Christ. Ergo, I say for basic humanity. And if we don't put voice to it, then they think that we don't care, and they operate that way. So platforms are important to us. We can't have divine kingdoms and decay in community. That doesn't make sense to me. So then we finally think about pavement ministry, and that's our ministry as we chop it up and make sure that we are engaging everyday citizenry. And so we have a great effort here for returning citizens, men and women coming out of prison. They're dear to us, so we organize around that. And we stand alongside of those that have been incarcerated and push legislation. We push employers to give these individuals another chance. For those of us that are in the body of Christ, we understand what grace means. And that's why we named our church Grace City, because we believe in another chance. Those of us that are Christian know we burned up second and third chances a long time ago. This ain't about
many
second,
years
third,
ago.
or fourth chance. Yeah, this is about another chance. And so pavement ministry gives us that chance to engage people that are deserving of and in need of another chance. So we work with returning citizens, those men and women coming out of prison, Those of us who are keeping track of the mass incarceration know that the largest number of incarcerated individuals by demographic right now are black women. And we didn't say much when it was black men. Now that it's black women, I hope we can better organize and push back on this senseless, sinister act of satanic involvement that locks people up for these long sentences for nonviolent crimes, that we can find a better way to solve these challenges. And then we work with victims of sexual violence, of rape, molestation, and incest. We have a very secure program and initiative, curriculum-based by specialists and professors and individuals that are trained in this. And my wife leads that up. That's her background and her profession. And we just have a wonderful, wonderful commitment to those that have survived sexual violence. And if you look at the numbers, they're horrid, both for, of course, for women, but the numbers are even growing for men that have been raped and molested as well. And then we think through, we have work with addiction, those that are fighting for their sobriety. We work with them in an Exodus program called the Exodus Road to Recovery. Our ministry to those that are surviving sexual violence is called Overcoming the Storm. So we work with both sides. That many times people are addicted to narcotics, not all the time, but there is some correlation and some linkages for some of the people that are struggling with addictions because of the horrid things that have happened to them as children. And they're trying to figure out how to self-medicate and cope with that reality. And then we're working, right now we have a mass campaign to purchase a safe house. It's not enough. We work with those that are in domestic violence shelters. We send wonderful gift bags. We communicate with them. We go by and encourage their heart. But unless we can find a home that we can help provide some space, because the numbers are so overwhelming, and the people that are running from the senseless violence that's within their homes. For our work with gun violence in the community, we have an initiative called Boots on the Ground, and we put people, everyday citizens, out into the community to build relationships, to try to talk people down from retaliation. And we partner with the local police departments. We partner with local gang leaders, believe it or not, to try to find some solutions. And it's been a wonderful journey. And then we have Critical Mass, which is our think tank that allows people to come in and have conversation, and then we pull out the giant whiteboard and write down what we're going to do. We can't afford to have another talk fest without no action, so we always pull out the giant whiteboard. We take a poll right there. Whoever's there, we take a poll and say, listen, this is what we're going to do. How many are with us? And then we roll with it. So that's the kind of ministry we have. It's dynamic. It's moving all the time, but it's not easy. It's only necessary now.
Yes, Reverend Dwight Ford, Grace City. Listeners, I know you're saying, okay, Praise Empowerment Conference. If that's the guest speaker, I absolutely need to be in the house. Absolutely. Listen, we have Reverend Ford. We have some shout-outs from Facebook. Author LaTanya Boyd is listening, and I'm telling you, she's writing, typing faster than I can keep up with her. She said yes to be empowered to move forward in this journey called life. Reverend Dwight Ford, not easy but necessary. Oh, my goodness, building our decaying communities. Thank you, author LaTanya Boyd, for listening in and just capturing those nuggets there on Facebook. Tell listeners how they can, where exactly Grace City is located and your service times and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. We're in Moline, Illinois. Moline is, when you're from Illinois, people automatically associate you with Chicago. So let me start with that. We're about 2 hours west of Chicago, 2.5 hours west of Chicago, and we're headquartered there in Moline, Illinois. We're part of the Quad Cities, so there are 4 other cities that surround us. So we say Quad, but it's actually five cities. And we have ministry outreaches into each one of those cities, but our headquarter location is in Moline, Illinois. Service time is at 10:30. And then we have Faith Building Fridays. We start the weekend off the right way, put some faith in that Friday. And those services are our springboard into all of our commitments for the weekend and how we work with our communities throughout the entire weekend. And so that's how people can get in touch with us. Our Facebook is Grace City Live. And my personal communication on Facebook is just Dwight Ford. If they ever want to reach out to me, I'd love to be in dialogue with you and have a conversation about how we leverage our gathering on Sunday to do something about the challenging realities wherein our communities exist. So we want to fight back and push back that reality. And Twitter, Rev Dwight Ford.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much. Woo, Elder Tony McDaniel, let me bring you back in the loop here. Tell our listeners, we've got people that have just been calling in, dialing in, listening in all the whole time. Tell our listeners one more time all the details of Praise Empowerment Conference. Who, what, when, where?
Okay, so Praise Empowerment Conference 2016 is going down this Friday, June 17th at 7:30 p.m. Higher Learning Ministries, 1209 Upper Appomattox Street, Petersburg, Virginia, in the Battersea area. I need you to show up. I need you to come in strong numbers because we have this powerful, dynamic, anointed preacher who has been appointed for this time and for this conference. And we have that beautiful choir out of Brooklyn, New York, C3 Youth Choir, and, of course, locally in His Presence Conference Choir. So we're looking forward to it. A wonderful time in Christ of empowerment, encouragement to the body of Christ.
All right. Yes. And Jossie, let listeners know how they can pick up, if they can pick up any projects, any product that C3 Youth Choir has out for sale.
We are on iTunes, Amazon. You can search us C3YC, and the album is called Release Me.
All right, Release Me. And where are you all on social media that can hang out?
C3 University is on Facebook. C3 Ministries is our Instagram. And if you want to just reach out to us, cccinfo.org, and you'll be able to reach us through there.
All right, there you have it. Well, thank you all for just stopping by and sharing just a little bit with our listeners, and we wish you all much more continued success in your individual ministries and in your collective ministries. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, Charlotte. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. You're quite welcome. All right, listeners, stick around there. We're going to a quick commercial break, and then we're going to be back with our next segment. My guest is hanging out in the virtual green room, just ready to come up to the mic. William LaVant is joining us, gospel recording artist, songwriter, a national contemporary gospel recording artist. Let me put that in. We're going to hear all about his music ministry right after these quick commercial breaks. Don't you move. Don't you go anywhere. You're checking out the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show.
It's the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. Charvette will be back after this.
Spiritual Food for Thought. 31 inspirational quotes to jumpstart your day by LaTanya Boyd consists of inspirational messages that offer daily words of empowerment, promote spiritual growth and development in the Lord Jesus Christ for your day-to-day living. Spiritual Food for Thought, 31 inspirational quotes to jumpstart your day. Available now on Kindle, ebook, and paperback. Log on to www.latboyd.com.
Introducing contemporary gospel artist Diani with the new hit debut single titled The Blood on Remir Records.
Though they slay me, crucify me, I have been washed in the blood I'm reading.
Purchase Diani's new hit single on iTunes, Amazon in February. Once again, be sure to check out contemporary gospel artist Diani with the new hit debut single titled The Blood on Remir Records. Follow Diani on Twitter, Facebook by going online to DianiMusic.com. That's spelled DeoniMusic.com. That's DianiMusic.com.
Are you starting a new business, releasing a CD, writing a new book? Consider Mitchell Productions for your web design services. Visit www.mitchell-productions.com for portfolio samples, specials, and package prices. Remember, a website is not a luxury item. It's a necessity. Check out mitchell-productions.com or find them at facebook.com/Mitchell Productions.
She's here to motivate, excite, and influence you. She's Charvette Mitchell. It's the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show with in-depth interviews from today's leading authors, gospel artists, stars that you want to know about. And now, Charvette Mitchell.
All right, welcome back again. We're moving into our second segment, our artist spotlight segment from being broken and rebuilt to worship being mandatory. William LaVant is a national contemporary gospel recording artist and songwriter, and he is known as one of the younger generations. He's making movements. He's changing the world in our and for our younger generation, and he is sounding the alarm with boldness, talking about Christ and showcasing Jesus to the world through his music ministry. And we're running to the virtual studio to bring William up to the mic right now. Hello, welcome. You're live on the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. We're glad to have you.
Hey, thanks for having me. Nice to meet y'all.
All right. Yes. So let's jump right on in. How are you doing today?
I am doing phenomenal. God is doing a whole lot in so little time. So how are you?
Wow. Oh, goodness, I'm doing well. We want to hear all about that. So let's start from the beginning. How did music ministry start for you? I always love to hear the beginning, how things started.
Oh, Lord. Let's see. Growing up in church, my granddaddy was a pastor. Actually, he called me up out of nowhere. I think I had to be at least 4 or 5. And he said, "Sing, son." I said, "Huh?" He said, "Who?" I said, "I'm like, ooh, wait a minute. I don't even know what saying means." So I said, like, okay, this little light of mine. Started singing this little light of mine. From there, started traveling, being in choirs, and on up, ministry started from like a young age, but real ministry, as in getting to know God for who he is, myself, really started when I was around the age of 13. So from there on, I started writing songs, from worship, and it's been crazy ever since, and I'm loving it.
Wow. And you've had the opportunity to open shows for artists such as Uncle Reese and Ricky Dillard and Byron Cage and Jonathan McReynolds and more and more. So with those opportunities, did that catapult you really to say, okay, I need to put out a project, I need to get some music out in the world?
Oh, yes, most definitely, because you have a whole variety of music and gospel music that's being released, and God speaks, to his ministers that are not on, the high platforms or whatever, and he still has, music to get out. He still has the word to get out, whether nationally known or not. So that's where I'm like, okay, now I gotta put out what God has given me. So definitely.
Well said. Well said. And I will attest to say that, they're some of the baddest singers, some of the baddest people can do a riff up one side and down one side you will never hear on the radio, but they're in your local community, your local assembly, your local churches, leading praise and worship every Sunday. And certainly God has a place, and that's their gift, and it doesn't mean you have to go national, but certainly God has gifts all around us. So how do you describe your sound, your music sound?
It's the sound of William LaVant. Let's see, it's a sound that is not just one nationality of sound. You have a lot of like I said, you have a lot of variety of sounds, but my sound would be something that everybody can connect to. You have your worship, you have your little jazz, you have your beats you want to bump to, you have your comfortable walk around the house every day beat. So I'll say something that everybody can connect to.
Okay, well said. And so you released a project in 2014, right?
That's 2015.
Oh, okay, great. So tell us about it.
Okay, the project that was my debut project. My release was Live Experience in 2015, and I actually started recording that when I was like 16. So 15 or 16, and I was like experiencing a whole lot at a young age. And I'm like, God, I need your help right now. What is it that you want me to tell your people? What is it you're trying to teach me? And that it was when he gave me the title Live Experience, not knowing that live experience meant a whole other thing. Yes, you have the live effects. Yes, you have the live edifice, but a live experience actually was a living experience with Jesus. And that's why I was like, hold up, God, what are you saying? He said, every time you get into my presence, every time you wake up every morning, I want you to have a living experience with me. And I'm like, okay, which means he had to wake me up from the places I was dead in. So that's why he started really breaking it down, and I was like, wow. So that was the debut project live experience.
Wow, that definitely sounds like ministry. Real ministry, not something that'll speak to people. And when people listen to your music and hear your music ministry, what is it that you really want them to get from it?
I want them to get that, you don't have to conform to this world. You don't have to do everything that everybody else is doing. You are your own individual person, and if you believe, and let God speak to you, even to those that don't even know Jesus. That's my main target. We have the church that know Jesus. We encourage y'all to keep running the race. But this music, is to touch everybody, but mainly go for those that don't even know Jesus, to get to want to know who God is, the real God, Jesus Christ is Lord. So it's the point the way you can know Jesus and you can still be cool too. Not worldly sort of cool, but cool enough to be able to connect with those on a level that you can connect with them on. So that's what my music is saying. Be saved, be cool, represent Jesus in the highest way that you can.
All right. I think that's real talk right there. I think that is real talk. And so I mentioned you're a songwriter as well. So do you write songs just for yourself, or do you write songs for others?
As of now, I got like 5 to 10 books with songs in there. I am now just writing for myself. I wrote my complete first album. I'm writing my complete second EP, and like I say, it all comes from worship. And the things that are revealed in worship, the things that are revealed in praise, is oh my gosh, I can't even explain it. God is so amazing.
He is amazing, and I bet sometimes you sit and look at some of the stuff that you are inspired to write in worship, or either right after worship, and you're like, did I write that?
Yes.
Yeah. That's God inspired there. And most songwriters, and I'll just say writers, have books all around the house where you get inspiration and you want to write it down and you want to capture it.
Definitely.
So tell us about the project you're working on now. What kinds of songs do you have on there?
Unpredictable. That is the new coming project for 2016 in November. We have, once again, I say songs that everyone could connect to, but it's songs that will encourage you. You got your little rock feel, because I love me some rock music, but you got of course, gospel is the number one thing. You have your little around the house everyday feel, barbecue, little cookout feel, but most definitely worship.
Oh, right. That's where it is. Unpredictable. And so, can listeners pick up any of your product or any of your singles now?
Actually, yes. Live Experience is on iTunes, every digital media outlet that's out there. Live Experience is still available on YouTube as well. Unpredictable, like I said, will be available in November. So.
Okay. And listeners, we're going to let you hear Make You Proud. We're going to let you all hear that, so you are going to get to hear actually the artist singing. So I know you're like, hey, I want to hear what this sounds like. We got you over here. And so I know you've been busy with some media appearances, and just really getting the word out. You're on Periscope. So how often are you on Periscope?
Oh, Lord. Not often, but I am starting to use it more back now than when I first started. So I'll be on there. Talking every now and again.
Okay. How can listeners follow you on Periscope?
You can search up my name, William LaVant, or William LaVant IV, and it'll take you right to me. And I will follow you back. I do follow you back and respond to you.
All right, follow back. That's how it works. All right, and so for the music, the songwriting that you've done, and all the books you have around the house, do you get inspiration and then you go write it down and you can write the whole entire song out, or is it that you just get parts of the song and then you can write it later? How does that work?
Actually, it depends on what kind of song it is. When you, let's say, for worship, you are, you have, you're praying, you're going through, the worship field, and you might get a bit of a song right there. And I'm like, okay, God, this is only a little bit. What the rest of it? But say you get like a praise song and a jam, that's there, and you want to really speak, something that kind of amps people up to really get the blood flowing and want to get to know who he is. You got a whole song right there because you jammed it. So
okay. Well, there you go. So for all of those that were saying, hey, I wonder what happens with those that write songs, you just got an inside scoop. You just got an inside scoop right there on songwriting. All right, do you have any upcoming events, concerts, anything that you're going to be at that you want to give a shout-out about?
Ooh, a whole lot, especially with the Unpredictable Tour coming to a city near you. Let's see. We have one. My main one. I'll say my main one first because that's the main one everybody's talking about. It's called the Live XP recording, my live recording at Household of Faith Church in Jacksonville, Florida on Friday, September 2nd at 6 p.m. And it's completely free. You can, VIP ends in June. VIP is free. You can register at www.livexp.eventbrite.com or just go to eventbrite.com and type in LiveXP, that's LIVEXP, and it stands for Live Experience, which is deriving from my first album, but we're actually doing a live recording for some of the music on the new EP, which is Unpredictable. So that's going to be a hot night. It's a whole lot of other events. I can't think of none right off the top of my head. I know I'm doing the Jazz Caribbean Festival in Jacksonville and some other cities. So it's a lot going on.
Okay, it's a lot. So they can just stay connected with you. What's your website? And they can connect there and just find out everything that you're doing.
My website is it's long. www.williamlavantiv.webs.com. That's webs, WEBS.com. Or you can just simply go to Google, Bing, and type in William LaVant. Everything will pull up, so it'll take you directly there.
All right. That is the benefit of having a distinctive last name. You're going to come up in Google every single time. You're going to come up in Google. And if you're following us on Twitter, you're listening in from Twitter, I have tweeted, and the link to the website is right there in the Twitter address. So that's an easy way to do that. And I love how on your website where you're talking about hashtag live XP, which is the official hashtag. So those that follow hashtag live XP, and your website says there's no better experience than a Jesus experience. Not only to experience Him, but to be changed and to be able to relive that experience every time we spend it with Him. Psalms 84:10. You got that quoted there. So follow that. Keep up with that, listeners. Hashtag live XP will give you all the information you need to follow and connect there. So for your age bracket, I know you are targeting youth and young adult. What do you think are the main challenges for this age bracket?
Oh gosh, need to say that I'm first 21, so March 7th. But yeah, hello to all the teens out there. First thing, hello to all y'all. I love y'all so much. In these days and time, you have so much going on. You have drug addiction. You have child abuse. You have homosexuality. You have peer pressure. Oh God, so you have peer pressure. And coming from a personal experience, I can say I went through peer pressure the most. And emotional abuse, not being accepted in certain places that wanted to be accepted. Oh, it's a whole list of challenges. But the thing is depending on what you're going to do, when that challenge comes about. Are you going to let it defeat you, or are you going to let it strengthen you to move on and say, okay, I can get over this challenge. I'm not going to let this thing kill me. I'm not going to let this make me commit suicide. I'm not going to let this defeat me. So with that, it's not so much as the challenge. I know it's a lot of teams out there that may feel like they can't, get over it, but there's no such thing as can't automatically defeat the purpose. So with the challenges that come forth, don't focus so much on the challenge. Focus on how you can beat that challenge or overcome that challenge in order to be that challenger. You challenge that challenge. So that's I would say that's the main thing, right there, is overcoming that challenge.
Oh, that's good advice. Good advice right there. So I think that's a great segue to talk about the song that we're going to play, "Make You Proud." Tell us about this song and kind of set it up for us.
Oh Lord, I was going actually through a whole lot, especially in high school. I'm just going to say it. High school, I graduated without my diploma. And I messed around and went and took ACT about good 10 to 15 times. And I was just like, you know what, God, I don't see this happening. I'm just going to go get my GED, and I'm going to be all right. But he said, no, you're not. So the thing is, when I sat down, like, okay, God, I started praying, then I started worshiping. And I'm like, I want to make you proud of me, not just in school, but as an everyday living Christian, as in representing you. I don't want to make you ashamed. I don't want to put a frown on your face anymore. I want to make you proud as my father, as my dad, as the one that believed in me when nobody else could, as the one that held on to me when nobody else even wanted to deal with me. So that's when I'm like, I just want to make you proud. If I can just put a smile on your face, I don't want to grieve your spirit. So that's what Make You Proud really came from. And it was just the worship alone. I could barely even finish writing the song. I just want to make you proud. Yes.
And I think that's all of us have that same one. All right, let's let listeners hear "Make You Proud" now, and we'll come back up and kind of wrap up with that. So, listeners, here we go. "Make You Proud."
Yeah. Put them hands together, y'all. Anybody want to make Jesus proud? Say, I want to make you proud of me. Can y'all say that? Hey. I want to make you proud of me. Listen. In my worship, in my praise, in my giving, most importantly in my living, I want to make you proud of me. I don't want to put the frown on your face anymore. No matter what it takes, so we say, I want to make you proud. Hey, we say, I want to make you proud. Come on, say, I want to make you proud. Proud of me. Is that anybody's testimony? Come on. I want to make you proud of me. Yeah. I want to make you proud of me. Can we lift that up one more time? Say, we say, I want to make you proud. make you proud. Oh, I wanna make you proud, you. I wanna make you proud. Please say
All right, make you proud, William LaVant. How does that feel to hear your music singing back to you, right?
Yeah, it's always kind of weird because I'm like, oh gosh, it's still Lord, but I love that song. It's my favorite song.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we applaud you being, like you said, a young person pursuing your dreams, pursuing ministry. Representing that you want to make Jesus proud, and that you're just representing the experience that all of us can have with Jesus Christ. So let our listeners know one more time all of your contact points, all of your social media, everywhere they can connect with you and keep up with you and what's going on in your world.
Okay. Like I said, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, I'm almost Snapchat, I'm on Periscope. Every social media you have, look up William LaVant. It'll take you straight to me. I'm the only one with that name out there. Official website www.williamlavantiv.webs.com. And you, like I said, you send me a message, you send me love, I'll send it right back, I'll respond right to you, and that will always be. I'll always respond to you. And that's about it. And don't forget, Live Experience is still out there on iTunes. YouTube is available to you on Amazon. And Unpredictable is on the way. The new EP, November 2016. And Live XP is on the way. The live recording in Jacksonville, Florida, September 2nd, 2016. So there you go.
All right. There you go. Well, thank you so much for stopping by the show, and we just wish you much more continued success.
Same to you, and thank you so much for having me. I love y'all.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining us. All right. Oh, you're welcome. All right, listeners. Full, fun, phenomenal show today. Listen, if you missed any portion, as always, you can go hang out at charvet.com and catch the podcast version of the show, the archive of the show. If you heard anything, you're like, my friend needs to check this out, send them to charvet.com. If you listen to the show from your phone, listen, the easiest, most coolest, most simplest way is to download my free mobile app. Just look for Charvet in your app store. That's BlackBerry. Yep, BlackBerry. That's Android. Yep, Android. That's iPhone, iPad. Just look for Charvet to download, free download of my mobile app. Big shout out to my sister, my biological sister that's listening. She's like, good show, thank you. Big shout out to LaTanya Boyd, author LaTanya Boyd, who's been listening on the show, and all of those that are checking us out here. Listen, if you are a female entrepreneur and you want to connect with some other female entrepreneurs, you got to join my new Facebook group, Facebook community, #Coaching with Vet. Vet is my nickname. You get it, Charvet, Vet. Coaching with Vet on Facebook. Join my closed group on Facebook to connect with other female entrepreneurs. This group is for female entrepreneurs or females that want to be entrepreneurs. Really great interaction. I love the community feel. I invite you to join us there, #Coaching with Vet. Also, invite you to visit charvetmitchell.com, charvetmitchell.com for web design services. If you don't have a website, you need a website. Especially if you're in business, you have a product or a service or ministry or nonprofit or not-for-profit, you want to have a website because people expect you to have one, consumers expect you to have one, and your supporters expect you to have one. So stop by charvetmitchell.com. Schedule a complimentary consultation. I'll be glad to sit down and chat with you about all of your web design needs. So those are all of my plugs, and I'm not going to say they're shameless. This is my show. Those are all of my plugs. I just love connecting with you guys. Certainly on Facebook, facebook.com/Charvet. Click the follow button. On Twitter, twitter.com/Charvet. Follow me over there. Instagram is Charvet on Instagram, and you know what? We just love you guys, so thank you so much for checking us out. We're going to bring you more phenomenal shows next week. We look forward to having you guys. Bye.
Live from Richmond, Virginia. You've been listening to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Catch Sharvette Mitchell every Tuesday at 6 p.m. interviewing all the stars you want to hear from. So until next week, stay motivated, excited, and influenced. This is the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show.
Geico presents sharing versus oversharing. Today, Bridget Griffin shared a video of her daily yoga routine, 2 self-help articles, and her new blog called Build Your Inner Bridge with Bridge. Girl, your sharing has turned into oversharing. No worries, Bridge. Geico has some info worth sharing with your 7 blog followers, like how you could save money on your car insurance, update your policy, and report a claim just by visiting geico.com. How's that for building your inner bridge? Bridge, Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.